Several months ago, I started thinking about adding a CNC router to my shop. So I started doing some research, looking around different machines, and I was this close to pulling the trigger on a Shapeoko XXL. About that time, I came across Myers Wood Shop here on YouTube and was introduced to the Onefinity CNC machine. After a little more research, I decided to go with the Onefinity machine. The only downside to that machine really was the time frame it was going to take to get it. They're a newer company. Manufacturing has been difficult. There was a lot of interest in the machine, so they had a lot of orders come in, probably more than they could keep up with. So it was going to be a couple months from ordering to getting the machine. But I was okay with that personally, because this little building we're in at the time was a rabbit hutch. There were rabbits in here, watering system, rabbit manure all over the ground, bugs, spiders.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria!
So this needed a good cleaning and then do the upgrades. So I had quite a bit to do to get this place ready. The long lead time wasn't that big of a deal. But over the course of those few months, I was able to clean all this up, sheetrocked it all, ran some extra electrical in here, put some lighting in, built a table. I was happy to have this little building to use for this. So it's here. So today we're going to unbox it, we're going to assemble it. I am a complete novice at this. I have never used a CNC machine in my life. I have zero experience with this. I know one of the big pluses with the Onefinity machine is if you know what you're doing, you can set it up and be carving with it in less than an hour. I'm going to take my time with this. I want to do it right. I want to get it set up how I want it. So I'm not in a hurry, although I'm very excited. I'm not in a hurry really to be carving today. Without further ado, we'll get the camera turned around and we'll start opening some boxes. Get to the good part. All right, first box, let's open it up and see what we got. Well, it's heavy, I'll tell you that. This thing is solid. That's about all the info I can give you right now. So this box has some of the accessories in it. This is the controller, and I got the upgraded larger screen. And oh, look at this. They did a little carve. I think they assemble these and test every single one, I'm pretty sure. So they probably did this carve with this machine, I'm guessing. Thank you for your order, Matthew. Your machine has been QC approved. And this is the test. Enjoy. Yeah, there you go. It's a nice little personal touch. You get that when you're dealing with the relatively smaller company. Very cool. These are just going to be like cables and that kind of stuff. Some of these are just empty boxes, they feel like, for packaging. I don't know, maybe there's cables in there, lightweight stuff. This has something in it for sure. This is the controller. So it has an emergency stop button, all your motors, everything plug into here, USB ports, Ethernet, and HDMI, of course a power cable. So that's an important box. Let me tell you what, these parts, let me set this down right here so you can see it. Instead of using belts, it uses this screw here. The stepper motor turns this screw, which moves this back and forth. And instead of riding on little, they're basically these other machines, they use like like little tiny skateboard wheels almost in this like channel. It has these bearings and these really, I mean, these are heavy duty chrome plated tubing here. Very heavy, very rigid, very strong. So I just think this design is superior to the other machines. A lot less problems, a lot less maintenance with this setup where you don't have drive belts and those wheels. So just some of the reasoning behind why I went with Onefinity instead of that the Shapeoko that I was originally looking at. Here's all the main parts. We got our Y rails, our X rail, and according to Onefinity, all you do is you get this first rail set where you want it, which I've done, and you shoot one screw in it. And you pull this all the way forward, you pull this side all the way forward, and set your X up here. Then you mount it with the supplied bolts. I'm going to grab my metric set, I'm assuming this is all metric. 5mm. Some long T-handled Allen wrenches would be nice right about now. Everything lines up really nice. These bolts are going right in, no problem. Before I crank those down, I want to get this side. Just want to line this up so it's even. So I have the front outside corner shot down here. You want to do the front outside corner on this side also. Once those are down, just pushing this to the back will square up the back. With that done, you can shoot down one corner in the back. The next step is to install the Z slider, which is this piece here. And plug in the motor. Drop this down, we'll install the router. If you don't have a spindle, Onefinity recommends a Makita router, so that's why I went ahead and got that. It's a Makita model RT0701C. And it should just drop right in. Should. It's a nice tight fit. This is turned. It's off. Oh, this goes up over here, that's right. So you gotta take this bracket up here off. And there's a little channel in it to hold the power cord. It holds the power cord for the stepper motor, and which just fell out. And it holds the cord for your router. You just want to make sure there's enough slack so the router can go up and down. And I think if it's down all the way and there's enough slack for that, then it should be able to easily go up all the way, right? So when I first get this thing powered up, I'll just jog it around with the joystick controller and just do it carefully, slowly, make sure all the cords are where they're supposed to be and nothing's going to get pinched or broken or anything. We got to plug in our motor cables and we got to mount the control box. So let's take a look at that next. I wanted to go over the cables real quick. It's really simple. They got everything labeled perfectly. This is labeled Z and X on this end. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so this is where the X goes into, right there, and then the Z is right there. So real simple. And then the other end is motor 0 and motor 3, which corresponds to the control box here. Motor 3, motor 0. And Z is here. And this is your X rail here. And then this cable is pretty obvious. You have this side's the same length. We have motor 1 and motor 2 on here, which goes into the control box. Then you have a shorter cable and a longer cable. Shorter cable is Y2, which goes to this Y rail. And then the longer one is Y1, which comes over here to this Y rail. After this is set up, I'll drill some holes here and I'll run this cable down the hole here and then up a hole here to keep the top cleaner. And then this will all go through a hole. I think I'm going to mount the control box right here. It gives me access to the power switch right there, and then everything plugs in on this side here. Alright, new plan. The extra cables I bought are basically useless to me for extending this because, well, I don't know what I'm doing and I ordered the wrong cables, so that's my fault. So I'm going to, instead of mounting this on the front, I'm going to mount this control box on the side here. I'll still be able to hit the on-off switch from the front right there, hit the emergency stop, and then the Z and the X cables will just plug in right here, and I will do something about it later. If I find this isn't working out for me, I can always get the correct cables to extend these and move this box to where I was originally thinking I wanted it. So this is motor 3 and motor 0. So I decided to go ahead and reroute these cables right now. Alright, we got a few more things to hook up and then we'll be ready to fire this thing up. So here is the monitor. This is the upgraded size. I think it's 10, 10 and a half, something like that. It probably says on here somewhere. Nope. It was like, I don't know, $25 or something to upgrade to the larger screen. It's got a cool little kickstand on it. Hopefully it'll work that way. First power up, see how it goes. And I don't think my monitor, monitor is getting power. Should probably move the camera around so you guys can see this. But it says Onefinity booting. Now you can control this moving around from the touch screen. You don't have to have this, but a lot of people that have this really like it, so I went ahead and got it. It's asking me to home the machine. When I hit that OK button, this is going to move. So what I'm going to do is clear everything out of the way and then push that, and hopefully, if everything's hooked up right, we'll see our machine move for the first time. So there we go. Home machine. Okay. I didn't push it right. Okay. Am I not pushing it right? Okay. Why is it not working? This is a touch screen, right? Okay. Cancel. Huh. Well, that's disappointing. I think I know what the problem is. There's a USB-C and a USB for power, and I only plugged in one of them. I plugged in the power cord and not the cord that actually sends instructions to the machine. So let's do that. Let me go plug that in. Alright, I moved some things around. We're back to this screen. Home the machine. I'm going to try it again and see what happens. It's just going around, it's just finding all of its limits. Let's put this in, see what we got. So I'll have to get some batteries for this. We'll be able to play with it. Looks like 2 AA's. Last night I played around with this more and I got everything working. It wasn't that difficult. This moves the spindle up and down, or the router up and down. This moves me all over. I got the dust boot symbol hooked up to the vacuum. I did have the control pad attached right here, which is where it normally goes, but I didn't really like it. When this would move over here, the dust boot would hit it. So I moved it down here, mounted on the leg of my table. It's working out really good. It has a magnetic base that it comes with. Seems to be working really good. And the control box I was going to have mounted right here, but now I have it over here instead. Everything just plugs into the back here. I mounted a power strip underneath the frame of the table here, and this is working out real good. So I've been using the Onefinity Woodworker for a few weeks now, and there's really nothing bad I can say about it. As you just saw, the unboxing, the installation, everything went really smooth and easy. There was one issue I had. I contacted Onefinity customer service about it. They got back to me right away, solved my issue. So the contact I've had with them has been great. I've done a few carves. They've gone relatively without incident. I will be posting videos of those over the next few weeks. It's really satisfying to design something on the computer and then see it come to life as the machine's moving around and carving it out. It's really cool to watch. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, and post a comment down below. It really helps the channel out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you for the next one.